Okay, so now I'm going to go over how to create a text chapter within Creatavist. So I'm going to select this option. And what pops up first, just like for your overall project, is a cover image specifically for this chapter. Since I'm discussing web tools overall for this project, I've decided to discuss VoiceThread, and I have an image for my first chapter. So I can decide whether or not I want an image to display at the beginning of my chapter. Title my chapter, I'm going to title it VoiceThread. And then I can get into the bulk or the body of my chapter here. I can type information within the provided window, edit it using the toolbar, and then also add different multimedia options to the content of the body of this chapter. So I'm going to start off with a question and just ask, what is VoiceThread? And I've decided that I want to link VoiceThread to its actual website. This should save and then pop up to show that it is now a link, as it shows here. And then I'm going to look up a video about VoiceThread to display in this chapter as well. You have the option of uploading a video from your own computer, from YouTube, or from Vimeo. I'm going to choose YouTube and plug in a URL. I already have a URL chosen from YouTube, and I'm just going to copy and paste that in. Save it, and just like the link, the video should pop up to show that everything worked out. Okay, so here's my video. So just some basic, simple content to add to this chapter to kind of show you how to use this simple toolbar and interface within Creatavist. I have my initial question. This will link to the VoiceThread website, and this video should play. In order to preview what I've created so far, I'm going to save first and then preview, and we can see what I have. Okay, so the chapter that I just created popped up. Here's the title to the chapter. I have the cover image to the chapter, and then my initial question. You can see that this is linked to VoiceThread, and I have my video as well, which should work.
So what is a VoiceThread?
Okay, so that's all the content for this chapter that I've created so far. All right, I'm going to exit out of the preview and go back to my overall project to show you another way to create a chapter using Creatavist. Okay, so I initially chose the text option to create a chapter. Another good option to choose from is this right here, which is choose a file to import from your computer. So if you have a lot of work already done within Word or Pages on your computer, this probably will be the option you're going to want to utilize. You can just choose a created document within Word, but make sure that it's saved as a docx. Otherwise, it won't upload into Creatavist. And this file should pop up right over here as its own chapter. And there it is. So if I click on this, you can see how everything imported into Creatavist. Oops, I need to save first. Okay. So one thing though to keep in mind with this option is that whatever or however you formatted information within Word, it may or may not transfer over the same within Creatavist. So it's really important to kind of check what you have to make sure that you corrected anything that's out of place. Again, I can add an image for this chapter or leave it blank. The title of the chapter is taken from how my document or the title of my document was saved. I'm actually just going to put VoiceThread 2 since this is about VoiceThread as well. And then you can see all the information from that Word docx that was uploaded. And there are some formatting issues. right here, this information is its own section, and these are actually all bullet points. So I can just fix that using the toolbar, and everything looks good now. Again, if I wanted to, let's say, link this to the VoiceThread website, I could do that again. I could, after all of this information, I could add the video as well. Let's just add something to make this more interesting. Okay, so there's the video that pops up. I could add another image if I wanted to put one down here instead of at the beginning of the chapter. I could even add audio information as well, or a slideshow. Okay, so I'm going to preview the project so we can just kind of see what this chapter looks like since it has more text information. Alright, so here's my chapter. No image at the start, but here's the title, here's my initial question, and then the information that I had typed out that transferred over, and my video now at the end. Okay, I'm going to click out of preview. Okay, so that's kind of just the simple, easy way to create chapters within Creatavist. If I wanted to move these around, I could just hover over one, double click on it, drag it, and move it. If I wanted to delete something, hover over it, and you can see the trash can pop up here, and I could delete it that way as well. One last thing I want to go over before the end of this video is this template option here you may or may not be wondering about. If you were to click on the template option, you will have the ability to create your own layout for a chapter using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I'm going to click on that to show you what this looks like. Once this screen pops up, you click right here on Create a Template. So if you don't like the default template that Creatavist is already making me use, I could create my own if I was really good at coding. I'd click on Add New Template, scroll down, and then here I could change or add to the HTML to include whatever I want in the design of a template I'd want to create for a single chapter, or I could use that template for multiple chapters within this project. So once I would add information to the HTML, JavaScript, or CSS coding, I would save it and title it how I want it to be titled, and then I can go back to my project. Okay, so this is the end of my first video. I hope you've been given enough information to kind of see how simple and straightforward the interface of Creatavist is and the different multimedia tools that it provides for users. Mahalo.